marching on the rankings.
Absolutely. I mean, Corey, before the last event, was rated like 27th, and then he got a 9th and moved up to 21st. So that
he wants to stay there. Yeah, one good result. But realistically, you at least need to make it to round 4 or into the quarterfinals for it really to count for something for these guys, especially obviously the lower you are on the rankings, the farther you have to go in each of these 3 remaining contests to have any chance of requalifying. Once again, we are in Mundaka, Spain, the Spanish Basque Country, from October 3rd to the 14th. Coming up in heat number 6, round 2, Bede Durbidge and Ace Buchan.
Looks like we have an all-Aussie clash here.
Yes,
Dave.
Indeed. The boys are going to love this one at home. Of course, Ace Buchan, as we were talking about, is, there's 3 injury wild cards at the end of the year. You'd have to think that Ace would be one of the guys getting one.
No brainer.
And Bede Durbidge, after winning the Boost Mobile Pro at Trestles, presented by Hurley, moved into the top 10 and is really looking on form in this one. Unlucky not to win his round 1 heat.
Yeah, Pancho just came on really strong in the later part of their heat earlier, and ended up stealing that first place position and bypassing round number 2. But nonetheless, Bede looking really good earlier in the day.
On Bede's boards, really working well for him. Bede, I think, put together 2 rides in the high 7s, and Pancho a 9.0 with a beautiful backhand pig dog. And a couple big bashes, and out the back in yellow, it's Ace Buchan.
Oh, that was a nice hack from the rookie, Ace Buchan there. Wow. On a screamer of a way, that thing is solid. Surprisingly enough, his board looks like it's almost a little too small.
Yeah, we were talking about choice of equipment as well as choice of wave being really important. And, yeah, it's looking a bit bumpy out there.
Yeah, it looked like he had to move his front foot up on the board to keep it from sliding out there. And
we heard Peterson Rosa say earlier that he actually, in the middle of his heat, paddled out of the lineup, changed his 5.10 for his 6.1. And that tactic actually helped him to win his heat and go directly into round 3. So we'll see if Ace decides to change equipment or if he's going to be happy, and it'll be interesting to see.
Well, I think with the tide coming up as fast as it is, I think that with Ace Buchan picking off that wave, that was a pretty good wave for the tide right now, Dave.
Oh, that was a great wave for the tide, but maybe a little bit longer, a little bit, I don't know, heavier equipment, because there's still quite a bit of chop out on the face, it looks like. We saw Tom Whitaker in his interview actually talking about some of the big bumps still out there on the face. It is glassy, but a bit bumpy.
So the judge is rewarding Ace Buchan's first ride with a 6.67. Definitely a decent score to open up with.
Be happy to open up with that one. But you know what? If he hadn't fumbled his way through that third turn, he could have easily been up into the 7s or 8s with that one. So choice of board definitely coming into play. Little congratulations there for Yuri Sodre from one of our water photographers and or cameramen. So
yeah, and you got to think, day after day after day waiting around,
it wears on everyone. It wears on the competitors. It wears on us, the event staff, getting up every morning at 7:30 in the morning to be down here for first call.
Absolutely. You got to think that a lot of these guys aren't getting to practice as much as they would normally, and before you know it, they're in a heat at 5 foot, peeling Mundaka, and it's not like a normal spot where you get to practice a lot and warm up.
Now, what I'm wondering though is why they don't have more guys don't have caddies out in the lineup so that they can have a choice of boards once they're out there. Because you're absolutely right. The only way to practice here is to drive over to Baguio and surf onshore beach break, which is a completely different situation than what you got going out in the water here in Mundaka. And of course, the conditions change in almost every heat, Dino.
Absolutely. I mean, we've been lucky enough today to have good waves throughout the morning. The first couple heats were a little shaky, but for the last couple of hours, it's been on fire.
And just getting better and better. And here's another great one for Bede Durbidge. He had some insane waves come through in his round 1 heat earlier on. Heat number 15 of round 1 against Pancho Sullivan and Paulo Moura. And Paulo Moura, another very talented surfer who was really unlucky in his heat. You see him, he was out there tube hunting.
Yeah, that one. If you would have came out of that one tube, you might have
would have
been
tightened
in a
things
different
up.
situation.
Yeah, exactly. I think Paolo just said, you know what, I'm going to show everyone. I don't care about turns. Although he did do some really sick forehand snaps on his first drive, and then just went out the back and said it's going to be a 10 or a nothing.
Yeah, his very first wave in the heat, he did those two big off the lips, and then he went for like a 3 or 4 foot aerial. And had he made that, and then also made that tube, he would have definitely been in a different situation.
First, for sure. So anything can happen out here. Just like interviews with GT, 2-1. Take it away, GT.
All right, I'm here with Yuri Sadre. Yuri, congratulations. I know you really want to roll through some of these heats.
Yeah, I was really excited to go in the water, and I was like a little bit worried about my ranking position. And look, my sponsor been helping me, and Channel Island guys, they've been making a lot of good boards for me. They would help me a lot, so it makes me feel a little bit calm. But it's still hard, a lot of pressure on my shoulder. But I know that my family is over there looking for me, like Nico Bocco, my sponsor. I have friends all over the world like cheering for me, so I'm patient, waiting for the waves, and I hope I get a good result here.
Well, you got to love the conditions. I mean, it's, 2 guys out, 6-foot Mundaka, not such a bad gig.
Yeah, but it's still a lot of pressure when you need a result. But I say I want to do some strong turns. I want to build the wave. I want to get the speed. I want to be calm on the wave. I want to feel the flow. I want to feel the wave. Like try to get some barrels and be patient for the sets and try to work my heat better, because I know that I can surf with those guys, and I know that I need to improve some steps, but it's still time for me, and I'm learning every contest, every heat, like how the judges like they score to do only strong turns, the half turns, and work the wave, like for the public too, for them be happy and see what you're doing, So I'm learning, and I'm really stoked to get through on this heat.
Well, now, you are in a tough spot right now because you are kind of on the outside of the cut looking in, and that's kind of the pressure that you've been talking about. Did you back yourself up on the QS? And if you did, or if you didn't, why not?
Yeah, my start of the year was kind of hard, and I tried to do some QS, but I wasn't that focused, because a lot of traveling, and when you focus on 2 contests, it's kind of hard for you to improve in your surfing, to work with your boards, because sometimes you stay like over here 10 days and you only get 2 surfs, and you have I have 10 boards at home that I want to try. I'm really excited to use, because Christian.
One second, here we go. I want to hear the rest. Here we go. Bede Durbidge up and riding, Yuri. Hits it once, comes around the second. He's going to be too deep. Let's pick back up. Okay, so you have 10 boards at home. You never really have a good chance to get a feel for him. Here we go. Yellow up and riding. Ace Buchan. Ace pumping down the line. Ace long line right there. Boom. Banks it up top. Puts it into a floater. Cars back against the grain. Here he comes the inside. Puts it straight up. Kind of foam climb. Look at this little double up on the inside. And he stands it. Ace. I mean, we haven't seen much of Ace being a wild card all this year, eh?
Yeah, he's been ripping, kind of hard for him too, a lot of pressure because he only been competing I think those 4 last contests, he missed because he has a problem with his ankle, I think, and he's back, and I'm excited to see him in surfing, he's been ripping. Bede Durbidge, he got a good result at Trash, was such a hard contest, and he won, so really excited.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be excited for you to get a result here. You have a big cheering section. It must feel really good as you make your way up here and everybody's cheering for you.
Yeah, I have a lot of good friends around the world. I respect everyone, and I hope they're cheering for me and sending good energy.
Well, thanks there, Yuri. Here we go up and riding. Bede coming around the corner, kind of through the midsection of this wave, picks it up, hits off the lip, kind of a foam climb, another foam climb right there. Lower Trestles winner, Hurley, Boost Mobile Pro, and gosh, Bede just taking the lid off this thing all the way to the inside. I mean, that's about half the wave right there that Bede just got, and you can really see how long these waves are here. Yuri, congratulations. We'll see you surfing into the next round. And Dino, mailman.
Thank you very much, GT. Looks like Bede taking a page out of Yuri Sodry's playbook on that last wave there.
Yeah, it's really good to hear the kind, humble words from Yuri Sodre. Just,
Well,
you could see how happy he was.
For sure. Well, he's got plenty of talent. It is his first year on tour, and he's been really unlucky. I mean, he had a 10.0 in his round 1 heat in Mex, didn't make it through, and then barely lost out to Dean Morrison in his next heat. So the kid's got plenty of talent, but just one of those rookie years for some people. And we'll pass along a little message off of the internet because I have to agree with you guys. Camera time is at a premium, so more of the girls on the beach, more of the action in the water, and less of the commentators. Promise everyone I'll have a little shave for tomorrow. I did shower, but Dino, actually both of us could use a little shave, it looks like. So apparently we're scaring a few people out there in internet land with our hardcore OC looks from behind the orange curtain, but
I want waves more than looks anyways at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And actually a few messages coming in from some people out there going, hey, Dino, you shouldn't be in the commentary booth. You should be back on tour. I know you've got a thing or two to say about that. What have you been doing with your free time now that you've been off tour? Harassing grommets and your son at T Street or what?
I'm actually trying to fool everybody enough to let me surf. Just get me in the water, please.
That's all good. Well, hey, promise, as soon as they shut off for lack of swell or inconsistency, I'm sure there'll still be a couple on the inside section. You can go out and have a thrash in a little bit. So our two-wave scores a 5-5 and a 2-0 for Bede Durbidge, a 4-5 and a 6-6-7 for Ace Buchan. And here's a quick sound grab that the Billabong boys picked up earlier in the waiting period.
Looks like there is a set out the back. We might have to wait a minute for the someone just threw something at me.
It's grommet abuse in the booth. People are throwing brand new Billabong clothes at us. Dino just took a sweatshirt to the head. And we were hoping that someone would be able to take off on one of these set waves. Looks like Bede Durbidge in the slot. Can he do it?
Looks like we have
up and riding.
Former event winner here, the winner of the Boost event, up and riding. Bede dismantling quite a cast of surfers at lower trussels. Nonetheless, flying down the line here, looking for an inside connection.
Boom.
Nice big blast off the top, and free fall into the next section, and Ace Buchan out the back, answering as well. This on a bomb of a wave.
Closed out on Bede, and Ace on his about fourth maneuver. Oh, and he pulled that off. Vertically up in the lip. He's going to score big on that one, I think, Dino. The judges have really been rewarding those vertical maneuvers. And
oh, look at this set out the back.
Oh,
man. We are lucky to have these waves coming here at Mundaka.
Nick keeps saying it was wave 3 and wave 4 of the set. And there's the third and the fourth completely unridden and picture perfect. So, yeah, Mother Nature and Huey have both responded. Mama Nature turned off the rain and turned on the offshores, and Uncle Huey just sending the swell our way.
And there's another good shot of the Water Patrol picking up a surfer and bringing him out the back. Surfer in red, Bede Durbidge getting a ride around to the outside. Seeming he will have priority when he hits the outside. And we are in heat number 6 of round number 2 of the 2006 Billabong Mundaka Pro. And getting back to Bede Durbidge, boy, Dave, he dismantled a cast of surfers in that last event, or actually the second to the last event at lower trussels. He just unloaded on, I think he took out Taj Burrow, Kelly Slater, Chris Ward. I even think he even took out Andy Irons.
Andy Irons, yes, he did. That's exactly it. Took out Taj in round 4, followed him up with Wardo, then had Andy and then Kelly in the final.
Yeah, I think he. No, he took. Did he? I think he took out Taj in the semis, Kelly in the final, Andy in the 9th round, and Chris Ward in the quarters.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly a good memory there, Dino.
So yeah, and he in the heat against the local favorite, Chris Ward, he busted
that was
a big
unreal. Said Wardo, you think you know what's up? Well, watch this, buddy, and on your home turf to boot. And not quite as in form in this one, Bede Durbidge, as he was on the lovely walls of lower trestles. A 5-5 on his second to last wave, a 5.07 on his last one, and an 8.67 on that last wave of Ace Buchan to go with his 6.67. So Bede Durbidge kind of behind the 8 ball on this one, needing a 9.84. And we're going to go to a replay of that last wave of Adrian Buchan. They call him Ace. And we'll let you talk us through this one, Dino.
Yeah, look at the size of this wave, Dave. It's definitely not short of solid. I mean, it's, well, almost double overhead there, and you can tell by the way his board came out the bottom, kind of sliding straight into the lip, kind of a free fall drop there for the youngster. And right here, he looks like he's just pushing forward, trying to make the wave. And if you watch his board, it looks like it's almost sliding out, just hanging on. And as he throws it into this next turn, that was a nice snap, falling and through all the way into the bottom turn here. And why don't you take us to this last maneuver, Dave?
Well, this whole thing in slow-mo to really appreciate everything going on. Vertically up through the lip, kind of an off-the-lip to floater re-entry combo there as that thing just blows past him. He still tries to make it around this last section, but then just goes, no, that'll do it for me. So maybe on a smaller board than he would have liked, but a really good score. And here he is again, Dino Ace Buchan.
Wow. Kid's on fire right now. Looks like Bede Durbidge out the back paddling, and Surfer in red here trailing this heat.
Ooh.
See what he can do.
Oh, little front flip to Davy Jones's locker. Oh, Bede will just be kicking himself on that one. He picked a solid set wave and just not quite in the slot.
It looks like that's a beautiful shot of the Raging Bull coming up in heat number 7, Mark Akalupo. It's going to be really interesting to see him surf.
Hey, and we were saying that, normally you could only get through about 8 heats. We're just about to send our 15th heat of the day out here. So, we needed some luck, and luck has really come our way.
Yeah, you gotta be stoked about that. I mean,
this is incredible. It's unheard of in Mundaka to have 8 hours straight. And here we come back with a quick interview with our current heat leader, heat number 6, round 2, Australia's rookie, Adrian Ace Buchan. Once again, a few words from Adrian.
I think the CT is different altogether, you're travelling with a lot less people. It's not a bigger circus when you go for a free surf. Obviously the waves are a lot better on the whole. On the QS you kind of be lucky to get over 3 feet wherever you go, and they kind of don't really run the event unless it's, head high. So yeah, it's totally different. So yeah, getting used to the CT kind of format and game plan, and all that takes a little while for sure. But I feel like I kind of settled in a little bit the last few events. So yeah, hopefully I can try and do well the last few events of the year.
Yeah, that's an interesting point about the Ace made about being able to free surf in quality waves. The QS definitely a grind, and that this is the big payoff here, the Dream Tour.
That's why they call the QS the Party Tour, and as you say, the Foster's ASP Men's World Tour is the Dream Tour. Although those free surfs and quality waves, he hasn't gotten many of those out here at Mundaka, because this is about the first that we've seen of quality Mundaka since the beginning of the waiting period. Is that Kelly Slater down there? A little dark on the screen. Looks like Kelly fiddling around with a little exchanging notes with, is that Taylor Knox? Our screen's super dark. Sorry about that. Well,
yeah,
that is Kelly.
Like 7-time world champion and current points leader Kelly Slater hanging out with his mate Taylor Knox. And looks like he has his game face on, Dave.
Yes, he does. Little smile on his face, just kind of hanging, seeing what's up, really stoked. He missed his round 1 heat, made it through his round 2 heat quite easily over injury wildcard alternate 16-year-old Corey Arambidi, and into round 3 with the rest of our current top 5 surfers, all of them gunning for the 2006 world title. Plenty of people writing in saying they think Kelly's going to win his 8th, and plenty of support for the Kauai Kid and the 3 Aussies that are all still in the hunt as well. Currently out in the water, one of our Australian young guns, Ace Buchan, And another very talented Aussie leaving his mark on the tour this year, currently sitting in 13th position, Bede Durbidge. And Bede needing a 9.84 right now, Dino.
Yeah, you got to think, concerning the ratings, it might have been a big difference if, Joel and Mick and even Andy, started the year a little stronger. Kelly Slater winning those first two events kind of just, separated himself, going through the middle and, later part of the year. And obviously we have this event and two other events after this still remaining, but I mean, Kelly
really needs to mess up, and one of the following four really need to. One of them needs to have 3 finals appearances, pretty much, and would do themselves justice by winning one or two of them to really give himself a shot at the title. Otherwise, it could very well be Kelly's. If Kelly wins here, I think he'd probably just have to. The only way the title could keep going is if he was against Taj in the final. And how's this set, Dino? And both surfers in position. Bede Durbidge with priority, up and riding.
Look at the size of that one, Dave. Big snap off the top for the kid from the Gold Coast, Bede Durbidge. Still well overhead. Man, he just belted the top on that thing.
Come on, he just needs one more big maneuver, and he could get that 9.84 that he needs.
He's going to go for it, and he does it.
And it's still going. Oh, this could be
the money turn, Dave.
Could
Dave.
that be it? He needed a 9.84, and you know what?
That to me looked like
could be a perfect 10.
That was at least a point better than any other way I've seen this heat.
Yeah. And we need to go back to our score sheets. What was that huge one that Dingo? We actually don't have our updated
He went more vertical
yet.
than
Those are 4 of the biggest turns that we've seen of the day, definitely, and of the event. So Bruce had a 9.67 on his backside barrel and 2 hits out the back. Parko went completely to town, but the biggest and possibly the best wave so far of the event for Bede Durbidge.
I mean, the kid looked like he was gleaming with confidence. I mean, wow, he just put it up there time and time again on that wave.
I guess
unloading.
He could kind of hear us up here in the booth saying that, well, you know what, it's looking really difficult for Bede right now with under 5 minutes remaining, and the score's coming in. He needs a 9.84, and the judges, it's going to be close. Here's the replay as we wait for the last judge's score. Let you talk us through this one in slow-mo this time, Dino.
I mean, look at this thing. It's it's bigger than double overhead, and he just
it's like
cranks it off the bottom, goes straight up, and just snaps it underneath the lip, almost in the tube. Realistically, he was under the lip, but upside down on that reentry, and the wave kept size. If you look at it on the replay, it's still so much overhead, and this is in blast the tail upside down on that turn right there, Dave.
That's absolutely incredible. And he did pick the right board because his board just cutting through this thing like butter. Now, he wanted the tube there.
Look at this third turn here. It's like when he gets to it, we'll point it out, but he looks like he's kind of almost like a speed float upside down through the lip. Watch it. Just right here. Bang! Like floats that whole section.
Shades of Andy Irons against Aki last year in Hossiger, and a 9.8. 9.8. So Bede's still second, needing a 5.54, and that was, as you said, the money turn. And you know what? I think the only thing was that little hesitation about halfway through the wave when he wanted to pull up into that barrel section and kind of had to just give it the extra pump to get around because,
wow, I mean, that was
2/10 from perfect,
surfing.
but yeah, that was absolutely incredible.
Amazing surfing from the youngster from the Gold Coast of Australia, Bede Durbidge. Wow, there's only under a minute left, and Bede Durbidge needing a 5.8.
5.54. And he
5.54.
is back out in the lineup, but Ace will be sitting on priority, and unless a long, solid set rolls through, that unfortunately could be it for Bede Durbidge, even with the wave of the event so far in his scoreline.
He unloaded on that, Dave. Oh, that put a lot of excitement. You could hear the crowd in the background yelling and screaming.
Bede must just be gutted right now. You could see him shaking his head as Nuno announced his score out over the beach microphone. 15 seconds remaining. And Ace holding priority, so he's not going to let Bede come anywhere near that one. And as we come into the last 10 seconds, what a disappointing result for Bede Durbidge.
What an exciting finish to